Perfectionists, they want to be in control as much as possible, right? In their minds, there is no room for error, right? So again, they don't really, it's hard for a perfectionist to look at things like it's a work in progress. It's like when they are assigned something, when they do something in their mind, it's never an expectation from someone else. It's their own expectations of this has to be at 100% and no less because they are judging themselves, right? Um, Now there are some perfectionists where it's hard and difficult for them to be in leadership type of positions. Maybe some of them is difficult to be in managerial positions because they may become, and they might not even know it, they may become micromanagers because remember, they need to be in control, right? It may be difficult for them to delegate work to other people because they always got to have, again, that control and that oversight of, okay, instead of allowing someone to, instead of delegating a task to someone to let them do it in their own way with their own style, right? They want to make sure that what they're doing, and they are looking to see if they're doing it the way they would do it. When really you shouldn't do that. You know, as a manager, you want people to grow into their own type of leader and manager and things like that. So you don't want to stifle their creativity, their innovation and all of that, right? But people who are perfectionists, they have to be at 100% all the time. So you can imagine if sometimes you make mistakes and you get to that point, then you feel like if you're not ever at 100% and everything is not always controlled, then you're going to feel like you're a fraud. Just bottom line, right? These type of people, they never feel accomplished. They could have went to 1,000 schools. They probably have 5 degrees, right? They might be the top of the top percent, and they will say, I've done nothing. Like, I need to do more. And other people other people like, what? Like, you've done most, like, you've done a lot. You've done more things than 99% of people. You know what I'm saying? But they don't feel like that. They don't feel like that. And I feel like sometimes this, of course, I feel like it comes from having a toxic mom, right? Or a toxic parent. Because remember, when I talked about toxic parents, right? You are never good enough, right? Anything you do, you're never good enough. So you're always going to be seeking that validation. So if you are this type of, you feel these type of feelings regarding imposter syndrome, then you always seeking that perfection, even though logically you know that it's not there, like there is no such thing, but you are chasing because you never got that validation or emotional stability from your parent. So that's just my little tidbit about that. Also, perfectionists, these people, they're always ruminating on things. They can't let things go. So if something does go awry, or or there's a mistake in their work, they ruminate on it for days and days and days. It's like they can't get over it. And if you're not careful, if you continue to go down that road, it could lead to depression, right? Because then if you're continuing to ruminate on something and you are replaying in your head how you could have done it better, how it could have been perfect, if you would have just done this, or if you would have just did it this way, right? Then you start to feel like a failure. You start to feel like you're not good enough. Those sad feelings start to come in. Oh, I can't do the job. I mean, there's so many negative feelings that could come in your head regarding this. So these types of people, they ruminate on different things as well. So how do they overcome it though? Like if you're in this situation or know somebody that is a perfectionist and is really interfering with their daily lives, because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, y'all. If you work with a perfectionist, they getting on y'all nerves. Like it's like, okay, can we just move on already? Like, okay, this didn't go right. So what we gonna do next? Instead, they trying to figure out why it didn't go right. Okay, well, at that we don't even need to be looking at that. We already the end result was that it didn't go the way we thought it was gonna go. So let's just move on. But they can't do it. So how do they overcome that, right? I recommend that you celebrate your small wins. Any little thing that's, good that has happened for the day. You may have to do this daily. Anything good, any small little thing. If you had 10 tasks to do for the day and you completed one, celebrate completing that one. If you've gotten a certificate, but your big goal is to get the master's degree, but you got the certificate out, celebrate that. Like celebrate your wins throughout your journey. Also, you have to learn how to take mistakes in stride, right? And this is difficult, again, going back to the previous one, where if you've never experienced a failure, especially in your professional life, and all of a sudden, because it's going to happen, right? Then all of a sudden, you experience that, maybe you didn't get the job. And your experience is that you've always gotten the job when you had an interview. Or just you all of a sudden you made a mistake, within your work, and now it's a huge thing. You know what I'm saying? If you've never experienced that, it's going to be very difficult for you, right? And it will lead to those ruminating feelings. But you have to learn how to take the mistakes in stride and learn from the lessons, right? It's okay to say, in my opinion, it's okay to say, okay, what could I have done better? How could this situation be different? Or how could I learn from this? What is a different viewpoint when I'm looking at this situation, right? It'll make you feel tons better, right? And getting rid of those feelings of inadequacy if you're looking at it from that perspective instead of ruminating on it.